Hi, I'm Brett from 4x4 Obsession. Today we've got Simon's Colorado 7 in the workshop. We're actually going to be replacing the factory coolant with the Evans Waterless coolant. Main reason for this is coolant in its factory form has a few inherent problems, such as it can create corrosion. It also has steam pockets, which means that if you get any air in the system, the air actually boils, creates steam, and that's where you get a lot of overheating problems. With the Evans Waterless coolant, it eliminates this problem. It's a two-part process. Basically, we'll take the original coolant out. Because there'll still be water in the system, we'll use a prep fluid. The prep fluid's actually hydroscopic, which actually means it attracts water. So we'll actually fill the system back up with this first, run the car, which will actually draw any leftover water to it, and we'll drain the fluid again. Once this is done, we'll then fill the rest of the cooling system up with the Evans Waterless coolant. This is a system that you can do at home yourself, or you can get your local four-wheel drive workshop to do for you. If you're doing it at home, it's just a conventional way of either dropping the bottom radiator hose and draining the fluid that way, or the block drain. It's always a good idea to take the block drain out, because that'll actually drain more fluid out of the block than if you just drop the hose, but they're not always easily accessible. So most times the easiest way is to drop the lower radiator hose. If you're going into a workshop, most workshops will have something where we'll actually use a vac down system to do it, which draws all of the water and air out in one hit. Just be aware that when you are actually doing this at home, that you do get all of the air back out of the system as per normal. Otherwise, you'll run into the same problems with Evans Waterless coolant as you will with normal coolant. It's not the fault of the product itself if there is air in there. Air will still boil under heat. The piece of equipment we'll be using today is actually a snap-on vac down system. It's a very, very efficient system, as it'll actually vacuum out all of the coolant, air and water. Then we actually lock it off and we can actually vacuum test the system, which actually shows up if there's any leaks in the system. We can identify those and repair them before we actually then go and put the waterless coolant back into the car. Once we've actually ascertained that there is no more leaks, it's as simple as putting the Evans Waterless coolant into a container, putting the hose in, and it actually just draws it back in, sucks it back into the cooling system, forcing the air out at the same time and bleeding the system all in one shot. Another reason to go to the Evans Waterless coolant is most coolants, after their initial or first flush, have a lifespan of between 40 and 100,000 kilometres. With the Evans Waterless coolant, it's actually a lifelong product. So as provided you don't get any leaks, blow any hoses, that coolant will stay in there forever. Other reasons for going to the waterless coolant system is it doesn't have the same corrosive properties of normal coolant. So therefore it actually increases the lifespan of a lot of the internal parts of the engine, as in water pumps, thermostats. It also has a reduced running pressure, so where your normal water would be actually running at around 13 psi on most systems, this will actually run significantly lower, which is a real advantage when you're towing, or if you're working in hot conditions where you might find that the cooling system starts to boil. This will have a far, far lower boiling point to it. I'm Brett from 4x4 Obsession. Thanks for watching.